Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. So I'm going to solve the same valid parentheses problem in Python, as I promised that I'll be releasing a video with the Python solution as well. Now the logic remains the same irrespective of what language we are choosing. So if you remember correctly, the first question that I wanted you to ask to the interviewer was, what if the string is empty? So we are going to consider the same case, and we are going to say that if the string is empty, then we are just returning true. We are assuming that the parentheses are valid. But if you have not checked out the video in which I'm solving the problem using Java, please do check it out. I have discussed the logic for this problem, and I've also discussed the time complexity and the space complexity of the solution. So let's begin with the problem. So the first case, which is I'll check for the length of the string to check whether it is an empty string or not. If the length is equal to 0, then obviously the string is empty. The next is we have to iterate over the string character by character and then do the logic that I had explained in the previous video. So then the next thing that we are going to see for is the parentheses stack. So I'm going to call it parentheses processing. I'm naming the variable same as what I named in the earlier video, and I'll impress upon it again. Make sure the variable names are making sense because you are being evaluated against that also. So let's begin with the solution. Now, in my parentheses processing stack, I have not pushed anything as of yet. So I'll just iterate over all the characters one by one. So I'll call the character variable as a bracket in my given string, which is s, and I'll now check. The first condition that I'm going to check for is whether my stack, which is parentheses processing, is empty or not. Let me just parentheses processing is equals to 0. If it is empty, then do nothing but append parentheses processing append the bracket. Now before I look for the other conditions, I just want to tell you guys that in Java I was using a stack which was given to me through the collection library, but here we are just using a list. So we are going to use this list as a stack, and I'll show you how we are going to do that. So now let's go for the other case, which is when the parentheses processing is having some characters inside. So if my incoming character, which is the variable bracket, if it is equal to closing round bracket, now this is where we are going to utilize the parentheses processing list as a stack. Now, if you remember, we want to look for the character which is at the top of the stack. So in a list, if we if we if we look at the list, if we look at the stack as a list, then that character will be at the end of the list. So in Python, if you want to look at the character which is at the end of the list, we have a very simple syntax for that. We will just write the list name parentheses processing, and we will try to access the -1 element. So this will give us the last element in the list. Now, oh sorry, yeah, I missed the check. Now, if the last element in the list is an opening round bracket, then what we need to do is we just need to pop that element. We are going to use the pop method given to us. Okay. The next condition is going to be for some other type of bracket. Let's say we take the square bracket, and we are going to do the same thing again. And I am going to pop this as well. I'll copy this condition because we are going to repeat this for our last type of bracket, which is the curly bracket. So here we have implemented it for curly bracket as well. And the last remaining case is when when the bracket variable is not containing any closing bracket, it is containing an opening bracket. We just need to push it or append it to the parentheses processing list. So I'm going to append bracket inside this. Now we have completed the logic, and at the end, if you remember, we just need to check whether the parentheses processing stack is empty or not. Because if it is empty, then our entire string is valid. Why? Because we have found a matching bracket for every open bracket, and we were able to successfully validate a given string. So this will come outside the for loop, but inside the method. So I'm going to return. I think there is a syntax error. I think it is because of the indentation. Yes. Yeah. So we are going to return whether the string is valid or not. And like I said, we are just going to check for the length of the stack, whether it is empty or not. So if it is empty, then we found the string to be valid. If it is not, then the string is invalid. So yeah, this sums up the question. Let us try to run the code. Okay, so we have a syntax error over here. Let me see. I think it is because of not giving any space. Let's see. It is still giving me an error. Maybe because of the braces. Yeah, sorry, there are no braces in the for loop. I mean the brackets. Yeah. So the code works on the trivial case. I'll run it for the example test cases. Let's see how it runs. It works well. Let us submit and see how does it perform on the actual test cases. It worked, but the runtime is quite high. It is 32 milliseconds. Yeah, but the program works. So this is the solution in Java for this question. I hope I was clear. I've used the same logic. So basically, you just need to be good in logic, and any language that you choose, you have to be proficient with it. I'm more comfortable with Java, but yeah, I'm learning Python. So see you in the next video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to solve any other problem. Yeah, see you.